Can you text him, text him a message? Use the chat feature?
Susan, are you ready?
Excuse me, Joshua, are you here for the Planning Commission meeting? Can you tell us who you're with?
Yes, I am Joshua Wilmot, the President and CEO of Full Circle Communities, and we do have an item on your agenda.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, November 16th. We're meeting in the Commission chambers here at City Hall. Crystal, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Newman?
Present.
Commissioner Hughes?
Present.
Commissioner Godfrey?
Here?
Commissioner Gray? Not here. Commissioner Springer?
Here.
Commissioner Laws is not here. Commissioner Morris?
Here.
Mayor Banky?
Here, and just so you know, Commissioner Laws is no longer on the Planning Commission.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thanks.
And Vice Mayor Reynolds is not here either. And that concludes.
Thank you. The minutes that are put before you in free form, not in the packet, are minutes that have been amended to the minutes presented in the packet. So I would ask for a motion on the amended minutes.
Make a motion.
Support.
Motion has been made and supported. Is there any discussion?
Why were they amended, I guess?
Pardon?
Why were they amended?
Sorry. Just some punctuation errors, and I forgot to include Hughes.
No problem. Thank you.
Sorry.
Very honest.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll ask for a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you. Correspondence?
I have no correspondence.
Additions or deletions to the agenda?
No additions or deletions.
Thank you. This afternoon, we have before us one rezoning request. So I will ask Crystal if you would please present that.
This is a rezoning request. It's a petition from Westbrook Preservations LDHA LLC, requesting the rezoning of property located at 183 West Street, Battle Creek, Michigan 49037. The property is located at 183 West Street and it's currently zoned multifamily residential district, and they are requesting to be rezoned as T4 Downtown Commercial District pursuant to sections 128101 of the zoning code.
Thank you. And Susan, I think you're going to present this.
Yes, thank you.
Ma'am, is there any way you can do abbreviated presentation?
I will make it as short as I can.
I would appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I understand.
I mean, we have all the information here, so.
Right, okay.
Right.
So the subject property that's of the proposed rezone, if you look at photo 1 on page 3, 183 West Street. It's located on the east side of West Street and is south of, and is south of the West Street Emmett intersection. The property is currently zoned multiple family residential high density, with the applicant seeking a rezone of the property to T4 Downtown Commercial District. The property features 323 feet of frontage along West Street and also has 100 feet of frontage bordering West Emmett Street. The property is a very irregularly shaped parcel. Total subject parcel square footage is 111,949.2 or 2.570 acres, so that would definitely fit the requirements for the T4 district. Located on the property right now is a 78,744 square foot building built in 1940, refurbished in 2006, known as the Old Hospital Building. The building is 5 to 6 stories tall, with an average height of 12 feet per story, creating a minimum of a 60-foot tall building. As a result of the 2018 master plan and 2020 zoning ordinance and map, the parcel became zoned multifamily residential. However, while most of the uses fit the place type identified in the 2018 master plan, the new zoning district's dimensions do not allow buildings over 45 feet in height or 4 stories. As such, at the time of the zoning map update, this property became a legal nonconformity. In addition, the Old Hospital Building is barely, if at all, set back from the southern and western property lines, which also increases the building's nonconformity and creates a situation where no additions can be built, nor could the building be restored if it suffered fairly extensive destruction. The allowed uses in the T4 do include multifamily. The dimensions in the T4 would provide relief from the height and setback requirements. Though there are clearly more allowed commercial uses, along with residential uses, in the proposed T4 district, the aerials and street view photos, shown particularly on pages 5 and 6, show that the parcel is already bordered by primarily non-residential uses, as well as T4 downtown commercial district zoning on a portion of the north, west, and a potentially portion of the east side. The rest of the zoning to the north of the property across Emmett is zoned Green District and is currently a park. Zoning to the south on the rest of the senior residential development of Full Circle is multiple family high density district. A rezoning to T4 downtown commercial, which is mixed use that includes the commercial and residential, and does not include industrial uses, would not negatively impact the surrounding T4 green and multiple family zone properties. If you look at go back to page 2, figure 1, you can clearly see the zoning that surrounds this property. So this is definitely not spot zoning. Currently, the city's zoning ordinance, one of the issues is the city's zoning ordinance does not permit non-conforming buildings to be rebuilt if severely damaged, or allow an increase in the height, area, or bulk of a non-conforming building. When taking on a complete rewrite of the zoning ordinance and zoning map, it is difficult, if not impossible, to assess with 100% accuracy each property's size and current use and building size when attempting to assign zoning districts aligned with the adopted land use plan. In this case, the property's use fits the high-density residential type on the land use plan map, but the zoning district renders the Old Hospital on the property completely non-conforming and potentially obsolete. Master Plan Goals 1 and 5 focus on both promoting reinvestment and density in the city's downtown core area. The core area in the 2018 Master Plan includes the sports fields that are right adjacent to the subject property. So this is basically part of the core area of the city. The plan goals and objectives appear to not have intended to create a situation where existing dense residential properties would become non-conforming. In this instance, very similar to the proposed rezoning for the Calhoun County mental health building on College Street, it seems likely that the land use plan map simply did not contemplate the size and nature of this existing building, and certainly did not contemplate the fact that the new MFR zoning would include size restrictions and setbacks that would not fit the Old Hospital Building. Therefore, staff finds that this rezoning request meets all of the 12 standards that are required for review of a rezoning and approving a rezoning. Based on all of those findings in those 12 standards that are in your staff report, planning staff recommends that the Planning Commission recommend to the City Commission approval of petition Z-6-22, a request for the rezoning of 183 West Street, parcel 7960-00-007-0 from MFR High Density Residential District to T4 Downtown Commercial District. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone here that is going to present on behalf of the property?
The applicants are attending via, oh, were you going to say something, Marcel? They're attending via Zoom from Chicago, I believe.
If so,
That is correct.
I'd like to call a public meeting to order. And sir, please tell us your name, your address, and what your relationship to this request is.
Absolutely, thank you. My name is Joshua Wilmoth. My business address is 310 South Peoria, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. And I am the president and CEO of Full Circle Communities, who is the nonprofit owner and managing member for the ownership for the subject property.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilmoth, this is Marcel Stetzel, Deputy City Attorney. Can you turn your camera on when you're speaking, please?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, we don't have any presentation in front of us, so it's just me looking at me, and it was awkward, but I will happily.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the staff's work with us to make this presentation today, and all of the incredible support and work that the staff has done in helping to guide us to this current request. Full Circle Communities, as I mentioned, is a nonprofit owner, developer, and manager of affordable and supportive housing in Iowa, Illinois, and in Michigan. We had the opportunity to acquire and preserve the residences at Westbrook and Westbrook Place at the end of last year. And in the process of our acquisition, we identified that one of the challenges facing this building was its legal nonconformity under the current zoning, which, as has been presented, would preclude us, in the case of a possible damage to the property, from restoring it to its current condition and continuing to house the vulnerable seniors who live there. And so our request today comes to ensure that we are able to make repairs and restoration to the building to keep it as affordable housing in perpetuity, as is contemplated in the current use restrictions.
All right, anything further?
I thank you all for your consideration.
All right. If you'll just stand by, we'll see. We have no public at the meeting today, so there will be apparently no one speaking in favor of or opposed to. So I'll call this public hearing closed and ask the commission if we could have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Does that include the staff recommendations? Mr. Morris?
Yes.
And the,
Yes.
okay. We have a motion and support. Commissioners, do you have questions? Any questions at all? Seeing none then, Crystal, would you call the a vote?
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
Commissioner Godfrey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sprenger?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris?
Yes.
Mayor Benke?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes, and we do thank you, sir, for your continued support in financial endeavors in Battle Creek.
And I thank you all for your consideration today.
Thank you. Moving on. Any old business?
No old business.
New business, it looks like we have the Capital Improvement Plan program. Susan, are you handling that?
Yes, correct. And there's not a whole lot for me to say at this point. Basically, we wanted to get it to you a month ahead of time. This will be, I guess, forwarded with a recommendation to City Commission at the joint City Commission and Planning Commission meeting in December.
Do we have a date on that?
That is, it's the regular Planning Commission meeting. I believe we're trying to arrange to have the City Commission meeting, the joint meeting just ahead of the Planning Commission meeting like we did last year. And it's happening a little sooner than, I think last year was in March. This year, they want to get through it a little quicker to get things going, so.
Anything further on that?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions of the commission? Again, comments of the public? There is no public. So, comments of staff and commission. Staff, do you have any questions?
No comments, thank you.
Marcel?
I have none, thank you.
Commissioners, Mayor Banky.
John, I'd like to ask the attorney to give us a recommendation on making the meeting.
Please speak in the microphone. I can't hear you.
Making the meeting more efficient with the presentations. I'm getting a little frustrated at the length of the presentation.
Presentations.
I mean, all the information is being provided. I can sit here and read it too, but I'm more concerned about the amount of time that we're wasting. And I hate to be blunt, but I'm trying to be
Understood, and I will work with staff. Is there a timeline that you were looking
No,
for? Like a
no.
3-minute presentation, 5
maybe a
minutes?
couple months.
No, I meant.
You have a lot on your plate.
I meant in terms of, so quite often I will tell people, if you can't say what you need to say in 3 minutes, pare it down. Just sort of
Right.
from my days of high school, extemporaneous speaking. You know, I don't know that that always applies in terms of a staff report, but surely you can make your point known in 3 minutes or less. But I will work with staff on paring down the length of
Thank you.
the presentations.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments? Seeing none, we're adjourned.